My name's Latrice. If you do not recognize this face, nice to meet you. We are just going to jump right on in. Shout out to Bishop T.D. Jakes from Potter's House. He does a brilliant job of explaining who the man Paul is in the Bible. New Testament. Apostle Paul. He did not walk directly with Jesus, but he taught his word. He taught about him, all the things. Paul was an excellent leader because he did what a lot of people don't want to do as a leader. He talked about the stuff people didn't want to talk about. He said the stuff people didn't want to say, but were experiencing, but didn't want to talk about it. What do I mean by that? He talked about the discomfort, the suffering, and not wanting to live. That's the Bible. That's not me. He talked about the suffering that he endured for the faith that he followed, right? Something that Bishop Jakes said is that, explained in a way from Paul, is that sometimes he had to write by faith while wrestling with feelings. He had to be a leader, but still talk about the stuff that people didn't want to talk about, but were experiencing. For examples, he wrote letters and visited the Corinthian church. He was like, y'all gonna be suffering for being a Christian. It's just what it is. But let me tell you something. You're going to suffer. It's a thing. But you are also going to be comforted by God because you are doing this for the sake of him. 2 Corinthians 1:4. He comforts us in all our troubles so that we can comfort others. When they are troubled, we will be able to give them the same comfort God has given us. He says we can comfort others because we've been comforted by God. Pause. I know a lot of the things that I talk about sometimes on here are not sexy. Grief, suffering, not having a good day, all the things, right? Most people don't want to hear that. Most people want to hear things that make them feel good. That don't make them think about what they're actually dealing with, that mask, that cover, that distract, all the things. Don't nobody want to hear. Bishop Jake said, no one wants to talk about or hear about suffering. And I added, but it's common, it's regular, and everybody goes through it. Everybody will experience suffering and sadness and grief and death and all the things. It's inevitable. He says that Paul explains, you cannot be a Christian and not suffer. I will add, you cannot be human and not suffer, right? Don't nobody want to talk about that stuff, but he says he is able to comfort others because he has been comforted by God. In other words, when I come on here and I do this, right, and I talk about stuff that don't sound sexy, I don't do it just because I want to make y'all have a bad day. I don't do that just because I want to sound churchy. I do it because I know what it feels like to feel like crap. And I can't be so selfish to think I'm the only one feeling like crap today, yesterday, tomorrow, 2 weeks from now, 2 years from now, right? So I say that I can comfort and give some sort of words of comfort or whatever, or hope or light or something, that don't give up, because I know what it feels like to be comforted in that very thing. Does that make sense? I do my best to let it pass through me. Whatever good little piece of light, even if it's a little bit, I can't keep it to myself. I want to share that little bit so that somebody feels, you know what? I'm going to make it. You get what I'm saying? So my charge today, if you do nothing else, if you take nothing, if you make no stance today, just know that you're loved. Somebody care about you. Even if you could be on the other side of the world. I care about you. I love you. But more importantly than me, God cares about you. He loves you. That's it. Have a great day. Si nadie te ha dicho hoy, este día que te estoy hablando a ti misma. I'm sweating. If nobody's told you today, I want to tell you that I love you. Because listen, life be life and out here. But get what? We are going to prosper regardless. And that's a fact.